So I'll just start. My name is Rachel, and I am the director of Across the Spectrum. Hi, Stephanie. And I'm a documentary filmmaker. And when Henry was about 2, we started seeing him. He was typical up until about 2. He had a few words, not a lot of words, but had a few words. And he kind of regressed at about 20 months. And at 2 years old, we took him in for a 2-year checkup, and they kind of saw some red flags and were filling out the paperwork for the checklist. And we took him to a developmental pediatrician at 2, right after it, and she did not think he was autistic, just OCD and anxiety. And he also had food issues. I forgot to tell that. He did not eat anything that was not pureed until he was 2.5. So he ate baby food and yogurt, and it had to be a certain type of baby food, and had to be a certain brand of baby food and yogurt and Pediasure, and that's what he lived off of for the first 2.5 years. And so in that developmental pediatrician visit at 2, she also said he didn't eat like a 2-year-old, so we needed to get him to eat, and we were already in food therapy since he was 12 months old. And so we didn't really go back to her. We didn't really like her. And it wasn't until so that was December, and so the next summer we really saw him regress further into his own little world, and that's when we knew that he did have autism. And he was diagnosed in October of 2014, just before he turned 3. And at the time, it's time we were on the waiting list to get a diagnosis. I was looking at other documentaries to see what was out there, and there wasn't really anything out there that showed what do you do when your child is first diagnosed. And when you get the diagnosis, you're kind of shoved, like the doctor says, here's a diagnosis and here's some papers to look at, good luck. And you're kind of looking there like, what do I do next? And there isn't one size fits all for autism. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can do for them, and you're kind of there Googling everything. So I kind of was like, I need to maybe film myself doing this, and maybe I can help other families. And so I filmed myself, I interviewed myself the first year, and about 6 months into it, we decided that we wanted to film other families. And it's just my producer and I, Annie. That's it. That's the only of us that film it. And so I found some other moms from an autism moms group here in Arizona that wanted to be filmed. And I had a friend that was from Arizona. Her son was diagnosed right before Henry, and she introduced me to some Massachusetts moms. And so I ended up following 5 families in Arizona and 3 families in Massachusetts. So I've been Skyping with the Massachusetts moms for 5 years and filming every 6 months here in Arizona the updates of the kids. So that is the story of Across the Spectrum. And so if you guys have any questions, we are wondering how everybody out there is doing with being stuck at home for the last 3 months. It's been very hard for us. We were very lucky to have Justine like a therapist come to the house with him for the first the first 10 weeks. And then she went back to work. She works at the clinic. Henry is at an autism school called St. Dominic Savio Academy, and they have a clinic for preschool kids, and the clinic is where Justine works, and so she went back to work. They opened the clinic because it's small and they're able to social distance, and it's going really well at the clinic. So they opened it June 1st. So we've lost Justine during the week, and she still comes to our house on Sundays. But yeah, we lost her end of May. So it's been difficult. And here in Arizona, it's getting really hot. I mean, it is already hot. It's 109, 110. And so you can't really go outside. We do have a pool, so that's nice. And yesterday we got out a bouncy house as a new toy for him. And this morning, Henry asked on his talker, bouncy house. So he got the bouncy house for about 15 minutes before the live started. So I had just been, right before the live, I had just finished taking it down and got ready for the live. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Arizona is also, Sarah, Arizona cases are going really high right now here too. It must be tough in Texas as well. So it's hard because we've been really good staying home, and you know, a lot of people in Arizona are going out without masks, and so the cases are rising, and it's just tough because Henry is an only child, and he has not seen a kid in 3 months. So now it's going to be another month. School, SDSA might be opening up in August. They were supposed to open up July 6th, but because of the rise of cases, they decided to move it back to August. So now we have another month. Hopefully, and he can go back, because Henry is a sensory seeker and loves squeezes and hugs, and he misses his friends and his teachers, and every morning he asks for his teachers, Lisa and Heather, and it's really cute, but it's so hard to tell him, like, we can't go to school right now. So yeah, so we're struggling, but we're getting by. So oh, good. Sorry, I'm reading. Melissa's got, Sam has 30 hours of in-home. Oh, good. I'm glad that Sam has in-home therapy again. That's so great. Yeah, you'll have to keep us updated. So Melissa is one of the moms. Sam is one of the kids from Massachusetts. So, and the mom that introduced me to the other Mass moms. So, hello, Giovanna. Yep, Stephanie, yes, we've been swimming a lot. So yeah, do you guys have any questions for us? Lots of swimming, 20 hours, yeah. So yeah, that's so good. I'm glad that you guys are still having, Hillary, I'm glad you guys are still having in-home therapy, because it's been really tough for us when we lost Justine, but we're working. There's Henry, he's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We get that all the time. Hi, Paige. Hi, Laura. It's good to see you. There's Henry. Yep, and Steve is out doing grocery shopping, so he'll be home soon. But we've been lucky that we've been able to have just one of us. Oh, Henry, you gotta go potty? Okay. And then this here is part of the live. Henry's got to go potty, so I'm going to help him out in a minute. Henry, okay. Hey, buddy. Go sit down. Put that down. The hot cup, part of being live. Okay. Oh, did you spill it on your dress, on your shirt? Okay, let's go to your room. Hey. Part of being live and not having somebody else to help out. Sorry, guys. We're going to see that. Henry is going potty, and he spilled on his shirt. Did you need to go potty, or you just need to change your shirt? Oh, Okay. Sorry, this internet is different out here. Sorry guys, we're in Henry's room right now. We're gonna change his shirt. You spilled water on your shirt, didn't you? What shirt do you want? You pick.
Oh, such a sad face you got. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm well gonna help you. If you took
All
your
right.
courage and meet the wind.
There you go, buds. All right, I don't think he had to go potty. I think he just needed to change his shirt. All right. Sorry, I'll keep up with the questions. Okay, yeah. When is everybody's? Hillary says that her school was supposed to start on the July 17th, and no push date. When is everybody else's school starting? Do you guys know? Are you guys gonna send them to school? Working on churros, yeah. Hello, Anne. Hello, everyone. I know we all miss school too. Thank you. At this point in time, Stephanie does not have a return date. It's supposed to be beginning of August, but they haven't told us the exact date yet. So we're hoping August 3rd or 4th, whenever that Monday is, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's that day. We don't know. But again, we know that they're just trying to be safe with everybody. And the fact that Next Step is doing really well right now gives me hope. They are, as far as what Justine has told me, they are taking their temperatures before they get the kids out of the car. The therapist comes out, gets the kid out of the car, does hand sanitizer with them, takes them into school, washes their hands right away. They all have their own separate room, and they're trying to keep them as social distance as possible, but it's so hard to social distance kids, and Henry is a hugger. There's no way that they're gonna be able to social distance Henry. As soon as he gets into school, he's gonna wanna hug everybody because he'll be so excited to see everyone. So, but Next Step is going well so far. Everybody's healthy, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that's gonna be the case. Sarah asks if we can do more of Henry using his talker. Of course, I have lots of videos of Henry using his talker, and I will definitely do more videos and showing that, because it's amazing what he has done with his talker. He's had it for 4 years, and it's been a lifesaver for us since starting it. And I can post videos of him when he started using it, and videos of him now. And he's supposed to be reevaluated very soon to see if he needs a different talker, because he might be outgrowing touch chat. I don't know. His speech therapist wants him to get reevaluated to see if there's more. Maybe he can start typing more. Because we do know he knows how to read. We just need to teach him to type and stuff. He does see that. So end of July for Santan. Yep, Chandler and Santan I think are end of July, and most of Phoenix I think is going to be beginning of August. Thank you, Paige. Amazing to see Howie. Yep, it's so great. His talker is amazing, and I recommend it to everybody. For the longest time, so I met, the first mom I actually met was Erin from Creed's World, and she has been an amazing advocate for me, and she pushed me really hard to get Henry a device, and said from the very beginning that kids are never too young to use it, and using a talker does not prohibit them from speaking. it helps. Any communication will help your kids talk. If they can learn to communicate, they will then be pushed to talk. So I'm not saying that every kid's gonna talk, because that's not true, but getting a device does not prohibit them from talking. And so she helped me advocate. And so it was actually a year after I met her that we finally got in the process. And here in Arizona, you go through the state and it can be a long time. So I recommend for people to start as soon as possible to get a talker, because it can take a long time. And right now, actually, Arizona is very slow, and they've been denying people. So I think they're trying to speed it up again. But I do recommend that you get a talker as soon as possible. And we call it a talker, communication device, AAC device, AUCOM, whatever you want to call it. And stuff. But yeah, he does really well. Henry, you say hi? You say hi? Hi, everyone. He likes to see himself. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we are, any other questions. But yeah, we are doing this. So the first season, we're hoping to come out next year. And the COVID episodes will be very soon. We are almost done with the first episode, so I'm very excited about that. And then there should be about 5. I think we're going to do 5 episodes for the COVID series. And then the first season will be next year. We had to kind of push that aside because of what's happening right now. And yeah, just thinking Henry loves, so what we've been doing is going to the train park early in the morning, once a week at like 8 o'clock in the morning, right when it opens. He loves, we have a Scottsdale train park that he loves to go to, and that's been great for us to get outside in the mornings. Otherwise it is so hot. And Savannah wants to know if Henry can... no, he can't brush his own teeth yet, but we're working on that. We're working on a lot of, since being home, we've been working on a lot of self-care. So he makes his own bed in the morning. We're working on brushing teeth, holding it. It's just hard. He wants to just bite on the toothbrush. So you kind of have to guide his hand, but he will hold the toothbrush in his mouth. And you just kind of have to guide his hand. And he can get dressed by himself now, and he's doing great with that. And he will help me unload the dryer. The washer is not a front loader, so it's hard for him to reach over. He's little, so he will help me unload the dryer, and he helps me unload the dishwasher. And he also loves vacuuming. So when I vacuum, he likes to help me with that too. So that's the nice thing about what's going on. We're doing a lot more chores than we did before. And he's 8 years old, and I forget that he can do a lot of the stuff an 8-year-old can do, and I just have to remember that and help him. And he likes to help out. He likes to do that. So I just need to push him a little more, and I forget sometimes that he is an 8-year-old and stuff. So he's a very smart 8-year-old. Let's at him in. Sorry, I'm just reading pages. How do you like Henry looks? In public, actually, Henry's pretty good, but he does. So Paige asked, how do I personally handle being in public when adult tries to correct Henry or looks at him in a mean way? So the only thing really that Henry might do that people might look at is that he will lick his hands and touch his hands and stuff. We've been really lucky lately. He hasn't really had any meltdowns in public. Obviously in the last 3 months we haven't been out in public very much, but usually I just I'm very lucky we haven't had that. haven't had the looks yet. But I would definitely tell people that I am very open that Henry is autistic. So I just tell people, you know, he's autistic and may need a little help. And I will just openly tell people that. So, oh, I don't know, no. I was gonna see if Henry was gonna say something on his talker. So, Erin inspired me. Yeah, she's, Sarah said that Erin inspired her too. Erin on Creed's World, if you don't follow Creed's World, I suggest you do. Erin is amazing. Creed was such an inspiring man. He passed away 4 years ago, but he was very much an inspiration to us. And getting Henry a talker, she's really amazing. So I suggest, and Erin still posts lots of stuff, and Carrie still posts lots of stuff about Creed, and Erin is a BCBA, so she is posting more stuff about her company in Colorado. So follow them; they are amazing, and it's. The anniversary of Creed's death was last month, so that was really sad for us. He was amazing. So, anything else? I'm trying to think of what else we've been doing. Henry, we're really sad because we should be traveling this summer. Henry, we're really lucky. Henry is a good traveler. We've been flying on planes. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I grew up there. I'm American born, grew up in Toronto, became a dual citizen, and now live in Arizona. So we travel every summer back to Canada, which we aren't doing this summer, which is sad. But Henry's a great traveler. We fly in planes every year. He loves hotels. We're lucky with that. So he loves amusement parks, Disneyland, and we're really excited because he's little. He's finally 48 inches, so he will be able to ride on all the rides at Disneyland. So when we can finally go to Disneyland, which might be another year, he can finally go on all his rides. And his favorite is Thunder Mountain Railroad and Space Mountain. He loves Space Mountain, and well, the Space Mountain, he was very smiley. He didn't make any noise during it, and it's dark, so I wasn't sure if he liked it, but as soon as we got off, he smiled and was giggly, so I knew he liked it. Thunder Mountain Railroad is his favorite. He's a train fan, and it goes fast, so you can't do anything better than that, a fast train. So yeah, he loves that, and yes, it is pretty cool. And so once we can travel again, we may go to, my younger sister lives in Encinitas, California, so we may rent an Airbnb middle of July for like 5 days and see the cousins, because my niece is 6 and my nephew is 3, and Henry would love to see kids and see the cousins and play with the cousins. But we're still a little worried because of everything that's going on with the cases going up. Arizona just hit 70,000 today, so we may not even be able to travel anywhere. States might not allow us to go anywhere. So I don't know what's gonna happen in a couple weeks. So we're looking into that, and otherwise I don't know what we're gonna do for another month. Henry is gonna go crazy being a sensory seeker, so I don't know, any of you guys else have sensory seekers? What do you guys do with your kids and stuff? Yeah, I've tried, and Stephanie says they didn't travel back. Sarah, I may be able to, I don't know, I haven't chatted with Erin in a while, so I actually haven't talked to Erin in a long time, so I don't know if I can or not. yeah, we didn't travel back to Canada this year because we don't really want to be on a plane right now. So we're sad because we go to my parents' cottage on a lake every summer, and we're not going to be going to that this year. So that was really hard to take because we were supposed to go the last 2 weeks of July on Henry's break, and we won't be doing that. So hello everyone, new people, Sujeen and Amy. So I'm trying to think about anything else people want to say. Yeah, it is hard. Yeah, it's so hard this year. This is a crazy year. No one thought this was gonna happen, and it's just it's so hard. And it's hard for. I saw a post the other day from a friend that was like, it's even more isolating now for the autism community because a lot of the kids don't understand why they can't go to these places and why they can't go out, and they're lonely, and a lot of them, it's so hard for a lot of the kids to even get out. And so and now the fact that you can't go to the places that they want to go, it's so hard. And I don't know how much Henry understands about it, but he knows. I mean, obviously we haven't gone to school in 3 months. Does he really understand why he's not going to school and why he can't see his friends and why? I don't know what he understands and doesn't understand, but I just try and tell him every day, I'm sorry, we just can't go to these places. And he still does. We still do horse therapy because it's one-on-one, and we make sure that we're hand sanitized. Use the hand sanitizer and stuff, and so that's great that he does horse therapy still. And he used to have speech therapists come twice a week, but their company just this week decided everybody needs to stay home, which I understand with the outbreaks. So now this week he had to do speech on telehealth, and that didn't work. I mean, he did okay, but yeah, it's so hard. The telehealth, I mean, our kids can't sit in front of a computer. As you can see, like Henry's running behind me, I'm sure you saw. He's not sitting still, and trying for me to help direct him to do this stuff is hard. And so, I mean, we do what we can, and that's all you really can do, like try and help as much as possible and do it. His OT was still coming. So OT we were doing at the beginning, we were doing telehealth. She wasn't coming to the house. But end of May, the company decided that they could go if they wore a mask and took their temperatures. And then, sorry. And so, but now I think that she's going to be going to telehealth again. I'm just waiting to get that email or text that they're going back to telehealth. So yeah, it's a crazy time, and who would have thought that this is gonna happen? And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Caleb does do well. Sujeen says she's lucky that Caleb does well. Yeah, I mean, some kids are doing well at home with the home therapists, or at home doing telehealth, and some kids are not. So, I mean, I guess it's true with typical kids too. I think some typical kids are doing great with homeschooling, and some aren't. But Henry is a very social boy, and he wasn't at the beginning when he drifted into his own world and regressed. He did not want to play with any kids. So from the time he was about 2.5 until 4, just around 4.5, he didn't want to interact with other kids. He kind of was on his own. He didn't play with things. He didn't even really interact with us, except for to hug us and squeeze. Like, he's still been very huggy and squeezy. But other than that, he did not want to really interact with anyone. And now he is a social butterfly. He may not really understand how to play with kids, but he wants to be around kids, and he needs that energy and squeeze and hugs. And he loves his friends. He misses his friends, and so it's so tough to see that. Like, if this had happened 5 years ago, I think he would have been fine just being in the house, not doing much. But now he's doing that. So Sujin asked why I think he changed and was social. So he started at Next Step, and we were worried. Next Step is a preschool program at SDSA, and he was at a Montessori school, which was great, and we loved the Montessori school that he was at. And actually, Justine was one of his teacher's aides at the Montessori school. That Justine is who we had at the house with us. And we loved the teachers and everyone at Desert Garden Montessori. And we thought, oh, he's around typical kids, you know, that would be better. And so we were worried about him going to a clinic, all-day one-on-one clinic, because he wasn't going to be around any typical kids. It was only going to be autistic kids, and he blossomed. There was one boy named Greg who he just clung to, and those two were, I'll post some video of the two. I actually saw some. So cute. Those two were just best buds, and he blossomed with Greg. And I remember the first day of Christmas break, and it was 2.5 weeks, the break. The first day, he asked for Greg on his talker. He said, Greg on his talker, and I cried. I was so excited because that's the first time he's ever asked for a friend. And he was so, I was crying, and then I was like, I don't have Greg's mom's number. We can't play with Greg. And so I felt kind of sad because it was like the first day of Christmas break, and he wanted Greg. But it was so exciting at the same time because that's the first time he's ever asked for somebody. So, yeah. So Henry does baseball, does the Miracle League of Arizona, and Stephanie asked if he's still going to play baseball. Yes, well, after everything's over, for sure he's going to play baseball. I'm not sure when they're going to have baseball. They sent an email actually the other day saying that they're not sure when they're going to start. It all depends on what's going on with things, but for sure after everything's back, he's gonna still continue the Miracle League. We love the Miracle League. It's amazing to see everyone, and it's amazing to see everyone of all special needs play together. The buddies are so special. Henry had the same buddy. She was a teenager for 2.5 years. The first 2.5 years he played, and she graduated high school a year ago and went off to U of A. And so Henry had to get this whole year, or as long as he played, so for 2 seasons, he had to get a new buddy. So that was a little sad because he loved Morgan, was a great buddy. But yeah, I definitely recommend Miracle League. And we're lucky in Arizona. We have a lot of events and special things to do. I volunteer with Autism Society of Greater Phoenix, and they put together a lot of events for kids. We do, they do like Pump It Up bouncy house. Obviously these events aren't going on right now, so hopefully when the pandemic is over or better, we can go back to these things. But they do a lot of events and stuff, so we're really lucky in Arizona to have a lot of good events for the kids. Lego night, yes, Sujin, we do Lego nights. He hasn't been there, he hasn't done it yet, but yeah, they do a Lego night for the kids and stuff. So, and a lot of stuff for teens and for adults on the spectrum as well. So it's great. Sensitive Santa too, yes. That's a great one. I volunteered last year for Sensitive Santa. That was a great event. And Stephanie, he does do well with haircuts, so we're very lucky with that. He was never horrible with haircuts. He does like the clippers, and the only part that's really bad is around the ears, but I think that's most people I don't like the sound around their ears anyway. So we were very lucky, and but we did find there was a haircut place we went to that was a special needs mom, an autism mom who cut hair. So, and now we go back to snippets, although we haven't gone in a long time, obviously. We actually had a friend cut his hair in April. So he did not have that, but he does really well. Yeah, so Amy just asked if his baseball is for special. Yes, Miracle League of Arizona is for special needs kids of all special needs. So there's kids in wheelchairs, in walkers, autism, Down syndrome, all of the special needs, and you don't need a fee. They ask for a donation, so you don't even have to pay anything, but you can donate when you sign up. So yes, and we love it, absolutely love it. It's awesome. So I recommend Miracle League of Arizona. For us, Miracle League is a league all over the country, so you can find one in places probably in the state that you're in, hopefully. There's only one in Arizona, so that's in Scottsdale, the Miracle League of Arizona, and we live in Ahwatukee, and it's a half-an-hour drive, but we think the drive is worth it, and all the kids and parents are great. The volunteers are wonderful. Best Buddies, yes, I think Best Buddies is still around, Sarah. I think there's a Best Buddies here too. Yeah, so there's a lot of events that we do and stuff. So there was a yearly event that we also love to do, which was Surfing with Nixon here in Arizona. Obviously that was canceled this year. That was August. So hopefully next year we'll be able to do that, but that was a great event. And there's a lot of surfing therapies around the country as well, so that's great. So we're sad that we're not going to do Surfing with Nixon this year, but obviously for reasons that we can't do that. And I'm trying to think of other events that we've done, but Sensitive Santa, hopefully that will be able to happen in December, but that is amazing. Sensitive Santa is an event put on by the Autism Society of Greater Phoenix, and they have you can sign up they have different places that the kids can play as they're waiting to see Santa. Santa obviously understands your kids and will take their time. If the kids are nervous about Santa, then Santa will, they can take their time, and you can reserve a time, or you can just show up for certain times. I mean, it's amazing, and everyone who works that's volunteering is great with the kids. So I volunteered last year, and that was a great a great event too. So I am trying to think if there's we've been on here for 45 minutes, almost an hour. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have missed. I will do another live for sure. I will do another live for sure. I'm trying to think. After the first, probably after, in between the first and the second episode of the COVID comes out, so I can talk about that and you guys have any questions about that. Does anyone else have any questions for me? I'm trying to think. So I could have Henry, maybe I'll have. So, Henry, come here, buddy. Henry, come here. We're going to, and Sarah asked, will Creed be in? Yes, Creed will be in a few of the episodes, and when the first season comes out, we're gonna do an episode just about him, because again, he was very influential when I first started. He was very influential when we first got the diagnosis, so he's definitely going to be in it. There's Henry right now, and he'll be in it probably a few, but we'll probably have one. We haven't finished editing the first season, so but I think we're gonna have a full episode about him, and we'll probably interview Aaron and Carrie again to talk about how they're doing now after. You know, years after he died and stuff, and what they're doing. So we'll probably interview them again and stuff. So, but yeah, he's definitely in it. Hey, you say bye to everyone. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear. Can you turn on your voice, Henry? Hey. Let's turn on your voice. Hey. Can you say bye? Can you say hi to everyone? Oh, hi. Are you reading everyone's comment? I think you can read. Yes, he influenced a lot. Yes, I know he influenced a lot of people. He was amazing. So yeah, he was an amazing boy, amazing young man, and I know he's still influencing people now. And Aaron's still posting stuff, and Carrie is still posting things and stuff, and keeping his name alive. I will. All right, so we're gonna say bye to everyone. Honey, can you say bye? Thank you all for watching, and if you have any more questions, you can post in the comments. I will watch this again and see if there's any more comments and stuff. There's my squeezy boy. Yeah. There he is. There's my squeezy boy. Yes, he loves squeezes. He loves squeezes. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we will definitely, I'll go live again and chat more and stuff, especially when the episodes come out. So thank you guys. Bye.